even a short period of time, you kind of know how I feel about rest period at the beginning of your program when you start out. Anybody that does the Blitz is somewhat crazy, and I love that. And I love that you're not the normal. You really aren't. It takes completely away from what I said. You go to a powerlifting meet. Is that not 100%? You know how long you rest between your lifts? Good 15 minutes. But you're trying to give 100% in the one lift that you're doing. That's an interesting one. So I'm curious, is there a number that you think you should be? James, do me a favor. Answer that for me, would you? For what you think? Because you're asking that question. Now, this is something, the question up here is right now is how much rest time? And if you followed me and you followed me for a short period of time, even a short period of time, you kind of know how I feel about rest period at the beginning of your program when you start out. This is something that is pretty common for me. I've said it over 40 years on rest periods. So I'm just curious on somebody that's someone that's in the Titan crew, why this would be a question at this stage. And this will help you guys also. This will help you guys that maybe are not in the Titan crew. So one of the guys asked, how long you rest. And then you guys understand that obviously when you start a program, you know, especially right now, the 70% level, you know, starting out at 7% level. Some of the basic stuff is this. When you start a plan, you would take as much time as you need. There's no time limit. And this is stuff I've talked about forever to nauseousness, that you train at the beginning, being precise, training the muscle, trying to get some kind of stimulation with the least amount of work possible. And that's the way it starts. It always is the way it starts. And when you're off season, that's the way it should be. And that way, when you go to get ready, you have something in the tank. You have options to go to at the end of the training. So if you don't have options at the end, then you know you're kind of stuck. That's where the plateau happens, and that's when you really just dead end and you're done. And so what I try to teach people is that you don't ever want to run out of options to enhance the body. And so this is why I've been able to continue to do what I do, is because I've never ran out of options. And when I do run out of options, I know that I have to start back over again and create options again. And so I love that he said this, is rest as long as you need. There's no rush at this point. There's no time limit. There's nothing I need to put down. You guys know this. This is simple stuff that I've explained over and over again. This is the basic. You know, it's like saying, hey, do you breathe? Yeah, I breathe. So that's one of the things that I'm so glad he did this. Now, here's the response from the gentleman that asked it. So he's saying 60 to 90 seconds for best sets. So that's incorrect, because best sets is already confirmed, and that's just facts, is 2.5 minutes to full recovery. 2.5 minutes for full recovery. And so what this gentleman is saying is that his interpretation of, even though he's in the Titan crew, and this happens to a lot of people, he's not listening. He hears, you know, I'm talking over here and stuff, and he just hears what he wants to hear and doesn't listen to every little detail. And so one of the details, and I've said it over and over again, is that you recover and then you do your set. Like Tony was saying before that. Great response from Tony. But Tony, I also can see that Tony's that kind of guy. He's also in the Titan crew. Tony's the kind of guy that looks for the underneath statement that I'm making. And I wish you guys would all do that. And what that means is right now, at the beginning of 16 weeks, we have to make sure that we're building muscle, that we're speeding up the metabolism. Those are the main things. The main thing isn't getting the workout done. Not really. Is the main thing about a certain amount of protein and carbohydrates and fats? Kind of, but the underlying thing there is we need to be taking in enough to make sure the metabolism is firing and that we're recovering. firing and recovering. And so the majority of people go, well, I need to build muscle and burn fat. Not right now, you don't. We need to make sure the metabolism is firing and we're recovering. So you kind of see how the one is below the other. I hope you do. I mean, this is going to save a lot of you so much time if you understand that. And so the comment here is 60 seconds. Could you imagine? You start the program at 60 seconds, 16 weeks out. I mean, 60 seconds, dude, I barely just got done with my set, got out of the way from the other guy, and he's doing his set. And then I got to get back in because it's going to take me another 15 seconds to get back in to get set up to go again. And so you got about 25 seconds of rest, besides moving it back in and out of the exercise. And your other training partner has to wait because you got to get your second set in. Now, you can kind of see that statement is just like, well, yeah, you mentally feel like, oh, I'm a beast. I wait 60 seconds. I'm an animal. That shit never impresses me. Never impresses me. Because I train with so many people that do it that way. And they get weaker and weaker. And by the end of the workout, they're doing a plate. Mona lifts more than these people. So it's mind-blowing that someone in the Titan crew still gets that aspect of it and does not pay attention. So, Tony, great job. I appreciate you doing that. James, pay attention. Pay attention to that stuff. I know you're better than that. So I love this. So this is someone that, first of all, as crazy as I am, anybody that does the Blitz is somewhat crazy. And I love that. And I love that you're not the normal. You really aren't. The Blitz is something like Mona says, you got 10% that finish it. 100% sign up, 10% finish it because it is just a beast. And it's a beast because of the body and the mind. The mind, sorry, not even the body. Because the body gives you everything that you guys ask for. I need this and I need it fast and I want to do it fast and I want to do this, this, and this. Okay, we're going to give it to you. And then you still don't want it. We showed you that way and you're like, no, okay, that's a lot of hard work. Forget it. I don't want that either. But your body's changing every single day. And that's where the mind comes into it. And so that was one of the big things that I wish you guys would have jumped on and did. And this one is going to be great because we're going to reverse him out. And so that he gets to keep that leanness, that solid muscle. And so he gets to look great for the next weeks as we fill him out and slowly recover from the Blitz and take him back into this slicing and dicing phase, which is a long period of time. And so it might even look, well, it is going to look. You always look better every time you cut up. So like for me, every time I got on stage, I looked better. Every time I dieted, I looked better. It's a cool thing. It's really a cool thing. So I was doing a posing clinic, and I talked about when you're on stage, you pose from the ground up. And that's what you should do when you're on stage posing, or if you're at a photo shoot, or technically, if you're just standing around at a wedding or something like that, you should always be focused on your posture and kind of going, hey, whoa, I'm just standing here slouched over drinking a beer. Stand up. Now, should that change and should you work from the ground up on exercises? It depends. There's thousands of exercises. So, it depends on what the exercise is. But energy comes from the ground. We all know that. Energy comes from the ground. So that energy comes from there, pushes through the body and goes up and through. So like if I'm doing chest, are my legs flexed? 100%. Are they solid to the ground? 100%. I hope that answers your question, okay? Beautiful. Beautiful. So here's somebody that, like on the TC3, the majority of you, I have you training at 70% like me. The majority is training like 70% like me. Now, there are some, and that's why the one-on-ones are great, is because I talk to you and then I find out, I dig into who you really are and where you are with your body as of this time. And so this is somebody that I think right now can go 100%. And if we need to pull back to 80 or 70 a later time, we can do that. But to fire into this, now that's going to be different from everybody. And that's why I say the one-on-one is kind of the ultimate thing to do. But with him right now, I said, out of the gate, I want you ballistic in the gym. But look what he said. See, this is what I love. And this is why I like doing this, is because 100% means in the weight, in the lift that you're doing. That's 100%. And so does 100% mean, well, I need to take 20 seconds in between sets, and that way I'm more intense and I'm training harder and I'm in and out of the gym in 32 minutes. That's not more intense. It's dumb. It takes completely away from what I said. You go to a powerlifting meet, is that not 100%? You know how long you rest between your lifts? Good 15 minutes. But you're trying to give 100% in the one lift that you're doing. And now when it comes to weightlifting or exercise, mostly right now, each rep, each set is that powerlifting meet. And so try to recover between it. And so I love that he said that. And for him to give 100%, he needs to recover to get back in there. All right. So I think that's it's a great, great point. And thanks for saying that too.
Who are you talking to? The crew?
Do you want to switch sides?
I don't want to switch sides. I just want to talk to them so you can eat.
Okay.
Because the eggs are getting cold. And the grapefruit isn't it much better? And it's not organic.
Oh, geez.
My almost killed me for his organic.
No organic food in this house.
Yes, I do the
protein is way
eggs.
too fat.
Chicken and eggs.
Organic?
Yeah.
Organic chicken for me, I don't do.
For Titan.
For Titan he does.
Yeah.
But the fats are good for him. But for me, man, you start getting into double digits with that chicken. And then the grapefruit is like dead. There's like no taste to it.
It was so bad.
It was.
I threw them out.
You know how bad it is? It's as bad as Bobo's nude photos.
And I'm curious, you guys.
Right?
When you guys go, and the ladies, because the guys, and some of the guys do too, but when you go to the supermarket and you shop for something, right? And you get back home and literally your product is shit. It's bad. It's like disgusting. Do you guys bring it back? I never brought back anything. I just literally throw it in the garbage. I even bought, because I'm not good at this stuff, like expired yogurt, let's say. I bought a yogurt and I get home and I look at it before I eat it and it's expired. So who brings the stuff back to a supermarket? It is so weird to me.
I guarantee Jeff does.
I should.
Heath Evans does.
It's like money thrown
Steve
in the garbage.
Pack does.
It happens all the time.
You know Steve Pack does.
Yes.
Jeremy doesn't, but Jeremy sends the wife to do it.
How is that even a question?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, Lori. So,
can anybody help us out on this question? What she's asking?
I'm trying to figure out. So less weight and max reps. She's asking
why would less weight be come in if you're asked you to go 100?
Exactly. So she's asking what the other guy asked, which I said it's 80% of the people. She's asking if that means to go to the failure. So less weight and max reps equals.
What's failure have to do with 100%?
I think it has to do with stuff. I know.
So I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I don't know. If anybody else wants to try to answer that, that'd be great. I don't understand the question that is being asked. You bumped me to 100%. So yeah, Lori, 100% just means that you're training now at 100% in the gym. Does that mean less weight? I don't understand the terminology of less weight. I or nobody around me or anybody in the Titan crew means going harder means less weight. So I don't understand that statement. And max reps. So you have a certain amount of reps that I have set up for the program. So it would be just those reps that you're doing with the most amount of weight, not the least amount of weight that you could do for those rep range. Okay. So I guess I'm just confused on why the word less weight came into play on this. Because if I can remove that from the sentence, does that mean max reps? Well, it does. again, I'd remove that as well. Just means the max weights, most amount of weights. Yeah, what I don't want any of you to do on the Titan Challenge is purposely make this hard. And so this statement here is purposely making it hard. It's as simple. So I can't do something that's so confusing for 45 years without trying to dissect it every single day. And in time, obviously, you're not going to be able to do that every single day, 365 for 45 years. So what I learned early on is to make it simple. So that whole KISS thing, keep it simple, stupid. So my programs and the way I teach is the most simple, basic way that you can do it. That way you can do it if you travel, if you got 5 kids, you got 10 kids to feed, you got 2, whatever it is, you got a job, you got whatever it is, because I've lived that life. I mean, I wasn't born rich, so it didn't work that way, even though the people go, well, we don't got that luxury the time that you did. I set myself up. I'm a grandfather's age. So in my teens, in my late teens, 9, 10, 11 years old, moving out of the house to California at 20, I worked my ass off, but I stayed on the plan. And I made the plan the most simple possible way to do this. So I never confused it. So whatever you're doing at 70%, go to 100. That doesn't mean change tenfold. It doesn't mean that. And in my principles, it doesn't mean that. And I'll tell you one thing. When somebody does say, hey, go from 70%, change 15 things and go to 100%, that's not going to work. Now you're just going to be confused. Your body's going to be over confused and you're going to lose it and you're going to get injured and you're not going to do this anymore. Just take it up a notch. That's all it is. Just take it up a notch. Simplify it. Okay. Things like fatigue, go to failure, do drop sets. All that isn't part of this. All that isn't the statement that I'm making when I say go 100%. It doesn't mean rest 30 seconds in between sets. None of that. I've never said it, never will. At the end of the program, if I give you supersets, I'll tell you, I want you to superset. At the end of the program, if I tell you I want you to rest 30 seconds, I'll tell you rest 30 seconds. But right now, keep it simple, okay?